Hey guys, today we're going to be doing the 25 questions tag. As usual, I was not actually tagged in this, I just decided to participate because who doesn't like talking about themselves? Right? Am I right? I'm right. There are 25 questions and you just answer them. They mostly have to do with your life and your channel. So without further ado, let's just get into it. Number 1 is, what is your channel about? Well, books, a little bit of plants, and a little bit of travel and vlog type stuff. So a little bit of everything I'm interested in, or at least my primary hobbies. Number 2 is, how old are you? I just turned 31 on the 14th. So Valentine's Day baby here. Yep, I am old. Number 3 is, what is your relationship status? I'm married. To give you a little bit of detail here, I've been married coming on 8 years now, and we have been together 18. So if you do the math, I'm 31, we've been together 18. We have been together a long time, since we were kids. So, yeah. A side note and kind of interesting fact about me is I am polyamorous, but I'm currently not with any other partners, and I haven't been for a couple years. Number 4 is, did you go to college or what is your occupation? I did go to college. I got my undergrad degree from SNHU Online. Graduated in 2020 at the very beginning of the pandemic with my bachelor's in communications and new media. I would consider my occupation working with animals because I've done it in a variety of settings and in a variety of ways. Currently, I work at a vet. Going back to the college part of the question, I will be going to grad school in the fall. Yay! Currently, I'm still waiting to hear back from my number 1 pick, but as of right now, I have been accepted into my number 2 pick, and I'm going to be studying library and information sciences. So I'm very pumped, a little nervous, if I'm being honest, mostly about the workload and the time that it's going to take committing to my classes. Like, not time to complete my degree, but like time I have to take every week to do my classes, and how I'm going to balance that with work and like life and maintaining my mental health. But I am very excited. I have been thinking about going to school to be a librarian for pretty much 1.5 years now. Like, right after I graduated, I started to think of it as one of my options. My senior year of undergrad, I did really think I was going to go straight into grad school. I decided taking some time off was the best thing to do, mostly because of the pandemic, again. And a lot of life stuff. As you know, if you watch any of my other videos, I had a lot of chaotic life stuff last year, so it ended up being a good decision, and right now is really, I think, a good time for me to explore going back to grad school. So I am very excited. Question number 5 is, where are you from / live? I am from Northern Virginia. I also still live in Northern Virginia. I feel like for some people that might be kind of like a cliche and like get out of your hometown type of thing if you live in a small town or like a medium-sized town. But I mean, Northern Virginia is huge. There's like bajillion cities. Where I live is kind of like suburban city. A lot of people think it's really rural, but it's not. I have grown to like where I live quite a bit. I have traveled a little bit, but not a ton, around the US. So we have considered moving somewhere else, but right now we're staying put. We own our house here, and once you own a house somewhere, it is a lot harder to just uproot and move. Trust me. Now it starts to get into the very interesting questions. So number 6 is, looking back, what would you have told your 10-year-old self? I probably would have told my 10-year-old self, you're gonna quit skating eventually. Don't do that. Keep skating. Even if it's very, very much on the side, you only do it occasionally, you're gonna want to do it when you're 30 years old. And it's gonna be a little hard to get back into. So don't give it up. I would have told my 10-year-old self, you have a lot of shitty friends, and maybe you should find new friends. It's okay to find new friends. It really is. Don't let anybody tell you you have to be a social butterfly and you have to be friends with everybody and everyone has to like you. It's never going to happen. It's okay if you're not friends with everybody. And lastly, I would have told myself, if your gut is telling you that somebody or some situation is making you feel bad, it's making you feel bad. Trust your gut. You will eventually start to learn that your gut is rarely wrong. Your intuition is pretty spot on. And if other people try to convince you otherwise of what your instincts are telling you, they just don't see it the same way you do. Maybe they're a little more naive, maybe they're just a little more optimistic, a little more trusting of people. But 9 times out of 10, your intuition is correct. And this habit you're going to get into of not trusting your intuition, throw that habit out the window. Don't let people do that to you, because it will take you forever to get to a point where you're trusting your intuition again. Number 7 is tell us about your family. I don't know what to say. I have my mom and my dad, and then my brother, who's younger than me, and I have 2 half-sisters who are older than me, and then their kids. I don't see my sisters a whole lot. Maybe once a year, maybe. Sometimes once every couple years. They don't live in the same area as me, so that's part of it. I don't see my brother a whole lot either, ever since he moved out of town, so yeah. I'm not super close with my family. I see my parents the most because as of now, I'm the only child that lives in this town where they live. So yeah, mostly my family is my husband and my pets and myself. Really, June? Are you tired? I'm working hard doing nothing over there. Question number 8 is, what is your favorite holiday? My favorite holiday is Thanksgiving. For the food. Not for the actual Thanksgiving. I like Thanksgiving for the food, and I also like to cook. I really like the turkey you make on Thanksgiving, if you make turkey. And sweet potato casserole is like one of my favorite things of all time, so that's like almost the only time I ever get to eat it, so yeah. And I guess secondly, I would say my second favorite would probably be Halloween. I do like all the decoration. I like giving candy out to kids. Overall, it's just a fun time. Question number 9 is, you have no budget. What's your dream vacation? Going to Japan, like ideally 2 or more weeks, because I'd like to see a little bit of everything. And Ireland, I really want to go to Ireland, like Ireland, Scotland, and like London. Yeah, so I'd like to like kind of explore Europe, Ireland, Scotland, Scandinavian countries would be kind of cool too. Yeah, so if I didn't have a budget and I didn't ever have to fucking work, then I would travel like internationally a lot more. Question number 10 is, name your biggest pet peeve. Oh boy. Probably clothes that are uncomfortable, but like my version of uncomfortable. I really like have a lot of sensory things when it comes to clothing and how they fit and how they feel, and like my shoes. So that type of thing probably is my biggest pet peeve. I also really hate having things mansplained to me. Like, it will make me, I mean, I think it makes most people mad, but like it makes me really mad too. Question number 11 is, what book changed your life? Okay, this is a really generic answer, and like it's not like this book is profound or anything, but I'm just gonna say the whole Throne of Glass series, simply because it was the first big, like, long fantasy series that I read when I got back into reading, and it definitely, like, caused an avalanche within me where I am just obsessed with reading now. And that was many years ago at this point. So, yeah, Throne of Glass, simply because it was like the series that I became addicted to that really brought me back into reading as an adult. Because there was a lot of years there in my, like, early 20s and, like, late teens where I, like, did not read. Number 12 is a really weird question. Who put this on here? What simple invention changed the world? I know, I'm looking at my notes here. I wrote toothpaste. Yeah, I would say toothpaste and, like, toothbrushes changed the world, man. Can you imagine how stanky everybody's breath was before toothpaste? Question number 13 is favorite TV shows / movies. So for TV shows, I said Fringe. If you haven't seen it, it's an older sci-fi series. I really love this series. It's really nostalgic, and at the time when I watched it, it was like insane. Like, I loved it so much. I have not rewatched it since I watched it the first time, so I don't know if it holds up. I also really like Schitt's Creek. Like, I could rewatch Schitt's Creek easily. I'm not really a big rereader or rewatcher in general, so I haven't, but I have finished Schitt's Creek, and it mostly because I thought it was going to be insanely cringy, and it is cringy, but it's also hilarious, and I thought it was going to be like not funny cringe when I first started it. I'm glad I gave it some time because it is hilarious, and if you haven't watched it, you need to. In terms of movies, one of my all-time favorites, as even growing up, was Beauty and the Beast. I was obsessed with Beauty and the Beast, and now I'm subsequently obsessed with Beauty and the Beast retellings. And kind of as a tangent, like retellings of Persephone and Hades, because I feel like that's very much derivative. Like, I feel like Beauty and the Beast is derivative of Persephone and Hades in mythology. So that type of dynamic, I'm a sucker for it. I love Beauty and the Beast. I recently went and saw Belle, and I'll put like a little screenshot of what that... It's an animated movie. It's an anime movie. A similar tangent to that, one of my favorite movies of all time is Howl's Moving Castle. Yeah, and it has been for a long time. I am planning on getting a Howl's Moving Castle tattoo. My other favorite Ghibli movie is Princess Mononoke. They're very close competitors, and sometimes I'm like, is Howl my favorite? Or is Princess Mononoke my favorite? Nausicaa and Kiki are also really good in my opinion. I also really like musicals, and one of my favorite movies is Sweeney Todd. Yeah, I don't know, Sweeney Todd is just so like rewatchable for me, and I would really like to see it like redone on Broadway. So I've seen Little Shop of Horrors live, it's pretty cool. Beetlejuice is really good on Broadway. We saw it on pre-Broadway a couple years ago, me and my husband, and that's one of his favorite movies, so that was kind of like a treat to him. I really liked it. Honestly, Beetlejuice on Broadway is one of the best fucking shows you can see. It's so good. If you get a chance to fucking see it, you need to go see it. But yeah, Sweeney Todd is one of my favorite movies, and then I also have on here Interstellar. Look, I don't really like Matthew McConaughey, but that movie is good. The soundtrack is good. I know there's some memes regarding the movie, but I really liked it. We saw it in theaters, I think like the day it came out, because both me and my husband are really into like sci-fi movies, and we also really like space and or alien movies, because his favorite series of all time is like Alien. So like H.R. Geiger Alien. So yeah, anything that's like space, sci-fi, alien related, like extraterrestrial planet related, we will like go see if it looks really good. We will like go see it opening day. So we went to see Interstellar in theaters, and it was really, really good. Like, I cried, and it takes a lot for me to cry. I cried a little bit when I saw Belle. I cried a little bit when I saw Interstellar. Howl's Moving Castles made me cry for sure, like multiple times. And I'm not talking like sobbing, like getting teary-eyed, okay? I don't cry like that. Number 14 is describe yourself using fictional characters. Okay. I hate this. Oh no. What did I write here? Oh no. I feel like this is gonna give a really shitty impression of me. Okay, so when I picked 3, because I felt like that was fair, okay? First of all, I said, I know I don't seem this way if I'm like in a good mood, but let me just say, your girl's a little bit of a bitch sometimes, okay? I consider myself an angry person. I know a lot of people don't think that way about me, but it's because if I'm nice to you, it's because I actually do like you. If I don't like people, my first inclination is to ignore them and like avoid them, but if they're like persistent in being around me when I don't like them, then I don't know. I don't know how to explain this. I'm maybe not the friendliest of people, okay? Anyways, I said Nesta Acker Oberon from ACOTAR, Gideon from Gideon the Ninth, and Marcus from Deadly Class. So, my justification here is I can be kind of angry. I have some trauma, and that causes me to be a little bit of a bitch and a little bit of an angry person sometimes. Gideon is me, like, on a good day or when I like you. I can be a little bit, like, witty, kind of sarcastic, a little bit of an asshole, but, like, in a fun way. The fun asshole. Nesta's, like, the angry, mean asshole. And then Marcus, I swear to God, I don't even want to get into this because when I brought it up to my husband, he just laughed because it's so fucking true. If you know me well enough, I'm just gonna say, if you ever have heard my parking lot rant, that is why I picked Marcus. If you haven't read Deadly Class, Marcus is like a little bit of a pretentious dick. Very, like, nihilistic, jaded, cynical, maybe is the words for it. Goes on a lot of, like, inner or outer monologues about society and how fucked up the world is. And, like, have you ever heard anybody rant about, like, why do we have jobs? Jobs were created by people. Like, that type of thing. Like, why are we subjecting ourselves? Because we created society like humans did, why are we subjecting ourselves to, like, money and jobs and, like, money is a fake thing, it's literally paper and the value is made up? That type of rants, okay? And, like, I am prone to going on these rants, and I have actually been this way my whole life. Some people think it's ridiculous, like, my family, my parents in general, kind of, like, roll their eyes. So I try not to do it around them. But yeah, if you've ever heard my parking lot rant, that's why I picked Marcus. Number 15 is, what was your dream job? Well, I didn't really know what I wanted to be when I grew up. Like, when I was a child, but, like, in my teens, especially, like, in high school, I wanted to be a professional photographer. In some ways, I guess that panned out. Because I still do photography, I just don't get paid to do it, and I do videography. So, yeah, I wanted to be a photographer, specifically a nature and landscape photographer. I really wanted to work for Nat Geo, which now I'm like, why? Because they barely get paid anything, and they freelance, and it's, yeah, you get to travel, but, like, they don't pay for that a lot of the time. Number 16 is, if magic were real, what spell would you learn first? I said restore, so I could no longer be tired. Yeah, so if there's a spell for no longer being tired, that's the one I want to learn. Number 17 is share a favorite childhood memory. Wow, way to put me on the spot because I can barely remember most of my childhood. Okay, so yeah, this isn't even, what I wrote down is not my childhood. If I had to say, like, childhood memories specifically from, like, not being a teenager, probably, like, riding bikes with my friends growing up and, like, playing stick fight and climbing in trees. That was pretty much, like, a daily thing when I was a kid. My favorite memories from when I was a teenager were skipping school in high school and going to the beach. And one time I went to a theme park with some of my best friends, and it was, like, the middle of the day. And we were, like, the only people in the park, and we just, like, stayed on this roller coaster and went on it, like, 4 times in a row. And every time we went down the big hill, we would go, fuck school! Yeah, so my punk rock high school days where I skipped school and went and actually, like, did things. I skipped plenty of school and, like, stayed home, but especially, like, my junior and then my senior year, like, man, I skipped a ton of school and, like, went places. Like, we went to the beach, like, 3 times when we skipped school. We went to a theme park. So, yeah. Some of my favorite memories from growing up were just the freedom of, like, knowing you're supposed to be somewhere and nobody knows where you're at. And, I mean, we didn't, like, do a lot of bad things. Like, we didn't get in trouble. We never got, like, arrested. Got pulled over once on my way to the beach, which was scary because I thought I was going to get in trouble. But I was just speeding because, you know, once I had a car, it was like, we're gonna skip and we're gonna go do fun shit. Number 18 is, what is your favorite social media platform and why? I don't know. YouTube, and then probably like Instagram, just because I like to be photo or video focused. Let's see. Number 19 is, if you could pick any book character who you would spend the day with. Oh. Why the fuck did I read it like that? If you could pick any book character, who would you spend the day with? What did I put? Oh no. I don't know about that now. Oh no. Okay, so originally I had wrote down Shalon, and okay, like, yes, I'm a Shalon stan, okay? But I DNF'd the Stormlight Archive, and I think I wrote the answers to these questions before I had DNF'd the fucking books. You know what? I'm still gonna say Shalon. I like her. I do. And she's, like, bookish and artsy, and, you know, I like her. Out of all those characters, she's probably my favorite. Number 20 is, what's your spirit animal? I mean, I don't have one. And I know the questions are probably dated. However, aside from the question being, like, worded in a problematic way, my favorite animal is the skunk. And I am super pumped to get my skunk tattoo in a month. Number 21 is, what old person thing do you do? Groaning when I stand up. Number 22 is, do you have a hidden talent? I don't know. Probably something people don't know about me is I have really good, like, audio memory. So, and one thing in particular I think really good at doing is identifying, like, voices in cartoon shows or, like, movies. So if somebody does, like, voice acting, I can, like, be like, that person, I won't know their name. That's the thing. I don't know the actors' names a lot of the time, but I'll be like, that's the person who played this, and this character. And I'm usually right. And I'm usually pretty good at, like, picking up on that. Question number 23 is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I don't fucking know. Probably still living here. Hopefully, most likely, with my master's degree and working as a librarian. I would like to see myself with more dogs, and maybe some of my house projects done. Like my house outside, like I'd like to have some of it renovated, but I feel like that's realistic for 5 years. Like, yeah, I'd like to be making better money. I don't know. Not a whole lot. Traveling more would be cool. Number 4 is, share an item and tell us its significance. Boy, did I write anything down here? I gotta go find things. I guess maybe I could. Oh, no, none of these are. Let me think. Okay. Shut the door. Okay, I found an object and I want to show it to you. So it is, let me take this off. It is this ring. This ring. As you can see, it is like a spiral ring. It actually does not fit me anymore. I think it fits my pinky. Yeah, fits my pinky. But I got this in high school when I went to Italy. And it is silver. I just need to polish it. But since I don't wear it, yeah, I don't polish it. But it is one of my most prized possessions. I got this from a person who was like a self-employed jeweler. Like, this is what they made. Mostly just the memories associated with it, with the trip in general. At the time, I did actually buy a matching pendant on a necklace for my best friend. And funny story about that, somebody pickpocketed me and stole only that. So they ended up not getting a matching one, but I got my ring. So that's all the questions in the tag. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As normal, I am not going to tag anybody because I don't have a ton of people to tag, but if you want to participate in this tag, I'm going to leave it open-ended and say go right ahead, and you can say that I tagged you. That way, if you really want to participate like I do, but you're a small or starting booktuber and you didn't get tagged, here's your invitation. Just say Erin tagged you, okay? Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I'll see y'all later. Bye.